So when you went back and watched after Sunday, what stood out about the red zone struggles, not finishing those drives?
Yeah, I mean, we just we didn't execute at the level that we were getting to that point, particularly in the second half. I was proud of the way the guys responded. You know, we obviously dug ourselves in a hole. There was numerous reasons for that, but going in at halftime, making some adjustments, and just each position coach and position group talking about what they needed to do just a little bit better. We were just a little off in the first half, and again dug ourselves in the hole. And we got ourselves in a position to go win that game and battled every series. And we got down to the 20. It was a collection of errors, you know. So we got to get that fixed as coaches. The execution was just a little bit off, not crazy off, but anytime you're 1 for 6, if you're 1 for 2, it's not good enough in the red zone, let alone 1 for 6. You're going to kick field goals. You're going to lose ball games in this league, let alone against good teams.
The final series you guys had, or the second to last series that you guys had down there, where you weren't able to get it in from the 1. When you reviewed it, was there anything that you would have called differently?
We called the first play on the first down up the middle, got 4. It was an awesome run by Bam. And I'm not going to get into the details of every little thing, but we could have been a little bit better at our execution right there to make sure it wasn't even on Bam to get it down to the 1. Second down, ran up the middle again. They were all, they brought the pressure right there, and the safety made a very good play. We could have made a quick adjustment, and that's on me in terms of making sure that safety had more of a hat on him. And so on the third down, I called an RPO to make sure I gave our guys a chance versus an all-out tight pressure. It was at the little outside the 1 yard line. I know the easy answer is just sneak it. Well, we snuck it the series before that, and we were about an inch away, and I'm surprised they overturned that one, to be honest with you. There was about 6 angles that we saw. I did think he got in, but the TV copy was so dang close, and I didn't want to put our guys in that situation again. In hindsight, yeah, whatever play would have worked is the play I wanted to call. But we're going to stick with it. It is what it is. We need to get better from it. I need to get better from it, and, we can't let that situation beat us twice.
What about the fourth down play?
Yeah, that was a play that we were extremely comfortable with. I mean, we've been running that 6 or 7 weeks in practice, waiting for that opportunity. I know it's a little unorthodox maybe to go empty in that situation, but the point was to get people open, and we did that. We just we didn't execute it to get the touchdown.
How do you think Mike handled everything in terms of? We remember last year the Buffalo game. He's even said it. He played hero ball when they got down big, 20-3. He didn't seem like he did that this game.
Yeah, I thought he just locked in. Again, I'm up top, so I don't get to see the guy's eyes, obviously. But talking to Calabrese and just in general, it wasn't just Mike. It was everyone just hunkering down, understanding the problems or the mistakes we were making in the first half were correctable on every level, from the O-line all the way out to the receivers, obviously the quarterback. And I just thought you could see it at halftime. The message was there's no 14-point plays. We were down 20-6. That last drive to at least get the 3 to make it a 2-score game, I thought gave us a huge jolt of momentum for both sides. Our defense had to get the stop. They did. And then, obviously we went right down the field and kicked the field goal. But the guys battled, and they made the adjustments that they needed to.
Do you think there was a sign of growth, though, from last year? Because that was the last time, 2 starts ago, whatever. Last time we saw him, that was the game he had where
Yeah, to an extent. I think that's something maybe internal that he'd have to go through. It's I know the guy's a tough, resilient dude, and no matter what happens in the first quarter to the third quarter to last week, he's just learning, and he's it's kind of cliche. He's got ice in his veins, and he really does. Just the way he goes about his business every single day. He's not going to be too up. He's not going to be too low. He's just going to keep battling for his teammates, and I think he saw that.
Mike, how much different is Mike from that day in Buffalo last year to now?
He just got more experience, right? It's not that he's got a ton of experience, but he's got another year under his belt, not only of playing more games in the preseason, but just being in this offense, getting to know his weapons and the guys outside. Just another year in this league, so he's just matured, he's gotten better, and I know he's excited for Sunday.
Sorry, you heard.
Did Minnesota play more man in the first half than they usually do? Is that the reason why you guys were so pass heavy in the first half?
No. Minnesota and that style of scheme usually does what they do. Kind of, and again, not to disrespect anyone that maybe did it before, but the Vic Fangio type scheme. So they stuck to what they were doing. It was. Credit to them, they got the stops obviously, but we felt like as an offense, if we would have just handled our business a little bit better, we would have been just fine.
Was there a throw with Mike? You guys obviously have confidence in him with Evans, in fact, throwing nearly 60 times, but was there a pass that he's made that made you realize, whether it was the Bears game or the second half against the Vikings, where it maybe even opened your eyes to what he's capable of, one that stood out to you more than anything else, or even just a read that he made, something like that?
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of examples, going into practice. I thought, again, not to get into too much detail with it, but I thought last Thursday he had one of his best practices he's ever had here, and the ball was just coming out of his hands in a northeast winter December type day, and I think the players saw that too. And when you have those kind of practices, it just brings so much confidence, not only to the quarterback, not even to the play caller, but more importantly to the other 10 that are going to be in the huddle right there. So he did some cool things in front of you guys on Sunday with some pretty cool throws. One that's probably a little bit underappreciated is the one right before halftime where he hit Garrett on the sideline. I mean, it was, he just had the defender's back turned. It was sometimes with Garrett's body movements, you don't always know what's about to happen because he's so unique. But he does give you indicators, and Mike got the indicator when he was going to break down. It was an incredibly challenging look, but he goes, hey, the defender's back's turned. Like, there's no way the defender's going to make the play. It's going to be Garrett or nobody. And he threw a dot right there on the sideline. So great route by Garrett, great throw by Mike, great job by everyone, allowing them to take a 7-step and a hitch and to get that ball out.
How much different is this Bills team compared to the one you played a month ago?
Well, they gotten healthier, obviously, with the exception of Vaughn, which is a big loss in terms of their edge. But they've ran too deep there for, it seems like, forever now, and they rotate, and those guys play hungry. Poyer being back is just huge for them. It's just, he brings that veteran leadership and that presence, in that back half. Obviously, the corners they rotate a lot, but getting Tre'Davious back has been big for him. Bringing in Rhodes, so it's a new cast of guys, but guys that we're familiar with. But it's the message to the young receivers was, hey, the guys that you're going against, the guys that you were studying, the guys that you're getting used to in that first game, it's going to be different because there's going to be different bodies out there. So we got to study, the last few weeks and get a feel for how those corners are going to play us.
Any surprise, whatever, in Garrett's evolution and growth? I mean, because lately he's been pretty special.
None. He is he's a special person. He loves this game, and so there's no surprise with it. Sundays are not too big for him.
Like, even though it's not the exact same Buffalo defense as you faced last year when Mike went against them, when a player struggles against a particular team, and it's obviously a high-level team as Buffalo is, can that get into a player's head a little bit? Is there something to overcome for Mike?
Yeah, certainly it can. I don't think it will for him, or I don't think it will for any of our guys on our offense or our team for that matter. But I think Mike takes those moments in those games and uses them as learning experiences. That was his third start, and we all know what happened in Indy. The 10 days before that, because it was a Thursday night game. Where he only got to play a quarter, so he's still a newbie in terms of how much time he's played, but he's gotten much more experience and much more comfortable.
What has Zonovan brought to this offense?
He's been he was doing it before he even did it in front of you guys on Sundays. He was performing at a level that I think I talked about either a week or two ago, where he deserved the opportunity. And again, you think what a guy's going to do, but you don't really know until they finally get out there. And I think he's just brought such a presence and a style that we needed in terms of just putting his foot in the ground and digging out yards. And it usually isn't even the second guy that brings him down. The whole cavalry usually needs to come. And that kind of style brings juice to not just myself as a play caller, not just the right, but the entire unit, the whole line feasts off that. The D line sees it, So not only is he helped out our run game, but I think he's helped out our offense and our team just with the juice and the style that he brings.
When you have a variety of running backs like that, just how difficult can it be to kind of manage that throughout the course of the game?
Yeah, no, it's kind of like I've talked about before. You go in with the hot hand. You got a plan, but plans change. And sometimes we have a plan to spread the ball around a little bit more with receivers, and one guy is just absolutely, doing what he needs to do to create getting separation and making plays, and so you're going to call probably a few more plays for that guy, or at least try to. It's a little harder in the pass game sometimes because the defense will dictate it. But same thing with Bam. If he's going to keep running the way that he is, which I don't think he's going to stop, he's going to keep getting opportunities.
What does it do for a play caller or the offense when you have someone like Garrett who, like we said, he's a special player?
Yeah, it's just you don't got to be perfect. You can call plays for the person as opposed to sometimes making it the perfect scheme. And he's proven that he's still young, right? I mean, he's a rookie. He's only going into his 13th game now, and he's going to continue to keep getting better. I truly believe that because of what he's built inside. So. The better players you got, the easier it is, as a play caller.
What are the keys? What are the qualities you look for in a guy, either whether it's Bam or Mike, who's a backup, and then it comes into an elevated role? What's the key to success there?
I mean, the easy one is the production, right? Sometimes, a lot of times at running back, the production doesn't lie. It's and we have to go back and study the finer print of that, and the detail is, is it the guy isn't only being blocked for 2, and is he pulling out 4 or 5, whatever it might be? But that's the big key when you get a big enough sample size at running back. Usually the guys that are performing the best, their yards per carry, it's a stat that's holds pretty true if you have enough carries. And obviously he's only done it through 2 games right now, but he's certainly made an impression not just for coaches, but more importantly for the locker room.